Just focus on your goal. Try to avoid distractions as much as possible. And in every test, try to give your best. It's okay if a test doesn't go well. There's always a next test. So yeah, keep your spirits high throughout these 2 years.
Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Chamomile Tea with Toppers, an initiative by Unacademy. And before I introduce today's topper to you, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Chetanya. I'm a second year MBBS student at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, that is AIIMS New Delhi. I had an All India rank of 4 in the AIIMS entrance examination, an All India rank of 5 in the JUPMER entrance examination, and a score of 670 out of 720 with an All India rank of 261 in the NEET entrance examination. And today I'm here with you with a topper, and I'm very proud to introduce. She's my junior. She's a first year MBBS student at AIIMS New Delhi, and she had an All India rank of 3 in the NEET 2020 entrance examination with a score of 715 out of 720. So let's get in touch with Snikitha Tummala from Hyderabad. Hi Snikitha, how are you?
Hello, Chetanya.
Right. So how does it feel to be here? How does it feel to know that you have secured an All India rank of 3? Let's talk about how was your experience when you got to know that result.
First of all, I wasn't expecting an AIR 3, but then when that result flashed on the screen, I was very happy and excited about it. It felt like all the 2 years of hard work that I did paid off finally. And then everyone around me, like my parents, relatives, teachers, were also very happy about it. And they were more happy than what I actually was. So yeah, it was a great experience.
Great. Heartiest congratulations on that achievement. So what I want to ask you first is that when you came to know that you have secured 715, you realized that you had done one question wrong. So which question was it and how did you feel about that?
It was a question in physics. I wasn't very sure about it, but then I just marked what I thought was right, and according to the key, it wasn't right. So yeah.
Okay, so you think it was a controversial question?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay, right. So you would have gone for 720, but there was some mess up in the key, right? Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Great. So tell us a little bit about your family background. Where are you from? Who's in your family?
So I'm from Hyderabad, and both my parents are doctors. My dad is a cardiologist. My mom is a gynecologist, and I have a younger brother who is currently in 9th class.
Right. Okay. So probably on his way to AIIMS as well. So what I would like to ask you is, since both your parents are doctors and your dad is an interventional cardiologist, as I know, so how does it feel during this pandemic, especially since both of them are healthcare workers? So what do you think is the perception change about the profession, and what do you think is the role of doctors during this pandemic?
Doctors are like the frontline warriors right now. So they actually have a great role to play in our fight against COVID. And it's great to see the sacrifices that they make for, to protect all the others. And yeah, they have to work for longer hours because of COVID. So yeah.
Okay, right. So what was your motivation when I asked you, why did you pick up medical as a stream, or were you just very brilliant in biology or something like that?
No, I decided that I wanted to pursue the medical field only after 10th. Before that, I did not have a specific liking towards bio or math to go towards that field. But then my parents are my biggest inspiration, to go towards medicine.
Is there someone you got inspired from more, from your dad or from your mom?
No, both of them are equal for me.
Okay, great. Okay. So after that, let's talk a little bit about your educational background. How did you do your schooling and how you started preparing? As I can see, you started your preparation from class 11th only?
Yeah.
Right. So you only give 2 years. That's great. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about how your educational background was.
Okay, so till class 10th, I was from a CBSE school, DPS Nacharam. So after that, uh, I joined a coaching institute and also went to a junior college. So uh, I had to manage like I
Both things
actually
together.
yeah, I had to manage both together. But then my main focus was NEET. So like for both, I only prepared during the last 1 month or so, and it was sufficient.
So there are a lot of students who have a problem managing school and coaching together. And since you are someone who has already done that, I'm sure our aspirants would like to know that what your daily routine was like. How did you go about the entire day and how did you manage your time so well?
Like we had a schedule in our junior college that it starts at like 8:30 or so, and then we used to have teaching classes till around 4:30 to 5, and after that we had study hours. So yeah, we studied there, and then after coming back home also I used to study for like 1 or 2 hours.
Right. Okay. And then what about the sleep pattern? How was your how many hours did you used to sleep? And
Around 6 to 7 hours, but then it wasn't a specific timing like I sleep at 12 or wake up at 6 or something like that. It depended on a like daily basis.
okay, so it was very variable. So as I can see, you have done your coaching from an offline institute. So these days, a lot of students are having this question of offline versus online. So what's your take on that thing?
It actually depends. Like now because of COVID, online seems to be the best option, but like it depends on your preference. If you have like if it'll take a lot of time for you to travel, then I think it's best to go for online. And then it also depends on what you study. So
Right. So you think that if someone is dedicated enough, online can provide a good enough experience and can also help save on time to some extent.
yeah, sure. It saves a lot of time actually.
Okay, right. So now, why did you come to MBBS? You've already answered. Now, yes, we've talked to a few toppers, and they have very differing plans after MBBS. So, what are your plans during your life at AIIMS and after AIIMS? How do you see your life after that?
Life after that, I haven't thought of it much right now, but yeah, right now it's MBBS again.
Right. Okay. So a lot of students are also stuck on thinking about getting into MBBS right now because there's this whole postponement issue that is going on. And I'm sure that was there last year too. So was there any stress because of that? Or what were your thoughts when you didn't know exactly when the NEET date is going to be? How did you cope up with your studies during that time?
Initially, it was kind of depressing that we studied so much and then NEET got postponed all of a sudden. But like after it got postponed once, we kind of got used to it. So like the second time didn't make much of a difference.
Did you continue your studies regularly after that, or was there a break or a pause because of the postponement?
Yeah, like we took a break of like 3-4 days.
Okay,
After
3-4
that,
days only.
yeah, we started back. It was actually a benefit because we were able to do many revisions, and because of that, our accuracy and speed, everything improved in the final NEET paper.
So you think it's basically a blessing in disguise, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how the aspirants should take it. That's the positive spirit you should have regarding this, you know? So now, one thing that you said about speed and accuracy for the NEET examination. So I want to get an idea of what the NEET examination is like. You can tell us the format and you can tell us how does it feel like to be giving an actual NEET entrance examination.
Like, as you must know, like there are 180 questions and it's a 3-hour test. So, like I could complete the test in around 2 hours because like it was also easy this time. So I had ample time for like revising all my answers again and OMR bubbling and stuff. So it was pretty easy. But then since it was also easy, there were like some people also don't read the questions properly in a hurry. But then if you can avoid that, you will be able to score well in such a paper.
Right. So since you said that this year's paper was easy, a lot of aspirants would like to know, do you think that in the future will the paper also remain easy? Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, like I think it's gonna be easy, not very difficult because of the COVID again.
Again, right?
Like last year.
And since it's going to be easy, do you think the preparation strategy for an easy paper versus a difficult paper should be a little different? Like, what are the important things to be careful about while attempting an easy paper?
If the paper is easy, like many people get overexcited and they tend to do questions like in a fast manner. But then if you uh, like spend ample time for a particular question, make sure you don't read anything wrongly and read all the options also properly and then only mark the answer, then I think you'll be able to do better. If the paper is difficult, then it doesn't really matter if you read the question properly or not. You don't have to focus much on that aspect as such, because
Yes,
then time shortage will be a factor.
okay, so to summarize, in an easy paper, accuracy becomes more important, and in a difficult paper, your speed becomes more important, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Snikitha, I came to know that you were appearing in your state board, and as we all know, that state board key books are a little different from the NCERT textbooks that we follow. So, a lot of people, they are having trouble managing both things together, and you managed to do both of those things. In the state board, you got a 97.1% and an all India rank of 3 in the NEET examination here. So, how are you able to juggle between both of those things?
Like from day one, it was mostly NCERT based, whatever I read and everything. It was only during the last 1 month or so that I actually focused on preparation towards the state board exam.
Okay.
So, and also the extra content that we had to read for state board, it actually helped me with NEET also in understanding the NCERT topics much more clearer.
So you're saying that the board preparation and the NEET preparation, they're both going to go hand in hand and both are going to benefit each other in a way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now I would like to come to a very important part that everyone really likes to know is what was your subject-wise strategy plan, physics, chemistry, bio, and then also which were the books and which were the resources that you referred to for each individual subject?
Okay. So let's start with bio. So
Okay. Is bio your favorite subject?
nothing like that, but yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite subject?
Like, it's not much of a favorite subject thing. I kind of like everything equally.
Okay, right. So you can start with biology.
So for biology, it was first reading NCERT, the NCERT content, reading everything line by line and word to word, and also the summary at the end of the chapter. Like there are many questions came based on that also, and some extra content might be there which is not there in the chapter actually. And also the diagrams given in NCERT and the content given below the diagram. So that's also very important. And after NCERT, like to revise some extra topics, I used to do the coaching modules.
Mm-hmm.
And then for question practice, I did the coaching modules again, and I did the MTG book NCERT at your fingertips, and also Dr. Ali, in which in which the NCERT like questions are based on NCERT lines, so it's easier to revise NCERT that way.
So you're basically saying your biology preparation had three components: NCERT, fingertips, and Dr. Ali. That is your MCQ practice books and your coaching modules. So a lot of students, they have this doubt: is NCERT sufficient or not to get a good score in biology? Maybe not 360, but a good score in biology. And the second question they have is, are modules sufficient, or do we even need to go beyond coaching modules or a little bit of the extra study material they have? They want to know what is the limit of the syllabus in biology.
Okay, so in biology, it's like at max we'll get 5 questions that may be out of NCERT, but then out of those also, like if you do your coaching modules and everything, you'll be able to do a minimum of 3 questions. So
so you're saying if we do the NCERT, we can get around 330 marks. And if I also do my coaching modules, I will be able to touch 340 or 345. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that's a very important point to note here. And after that, let's move to chemistry.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's divide chemistry into physical, inorganic, and organic.
Yeah. So in physical, it was the class notes, like whatever the teacher used to teach, we used to make a note and then revise that first. After that, we read the theory from our coaching modules, and then we also practiced the questions given in the coaching module.
Okay, right.
NCERT, like I did not read NCERT for like all the topics, but then some of the topics like redox reactions and in electrochemistry the cells part, like some topics like that, we had to read NCERT also.
So there are basically some theoretical topics that you should read from
Yeah.
NCERT. Rest you can leave if you don't have the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Inorganic.
Inorganic is basically like biology, so the same strategy that we followed there. So it's NCERT line to line. And then we have to even remember certain facts and that, like the tabular information, some orders and stuff. So I actually made a note of that contained all the orders and everything, like in 1 or 2 papers. So that's what I revised in the last few days before NEET.
So you had some secret study material that you created for yourself for inorganic.
Yeah, like whatever I used to forget.
Okay. So basically like short notes.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, right. And what is the practice book that you used for inorganic? Like you used fingertips for biology for inorganic chemistry?
Yeah, our modules, and like I haven't practiced much of inorganic. It was mainly like memory based things, so we had to revise it many times.
Okay, so you're more focused on the theory, right?
Yeah.
And organic chemistry?
For organic, it was reading NCERT and the coaching modules first, and like having an idea about the reactant, the product, the reaction mechanism, the reagents in the reaction, and then all of that. And for organic also, I had a particular note in which I wrote all of these together. And then the interconversions and everything also should be seen with proper care and everything. And question practice, I did it from the coaching modules and also the NCERT exercises that are given at the back of the chapter.
Okay, so you solved the NCERT exercises for organic chemistry. So overall, if I understand it correctly, for chemistry, physical chemistry, the NCERT is not so important, but you should definitely do it for inorganic chemistry and organic chemistry, both.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, great, brilliant. So let's move to physics.
It was like I used to listen to whatever the teacher used to explain in the class, and then we had our notes. So after coming back home, I used to revise the notes, and then the coaching modules, the theory part, and then I used to get my concept clear, and then it was question practice. So that was done from the coaching module. And NCERT specifically for theory, I did it only after like the whole portion of 11th and 12th was completed.
So NCERT is the last priority in physics, but you still did it.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think someone should be doing the NCERT? What's the benefit of doing the NCERT in case of physics? Is there some specific benefit?
Yeah, like if you do it after all the 11th and 12th portion is completed, you kind of get a conceptual clarity. It improves your understanding of the topic, and also you get to know different ways of asking the same question. And I also did the NCERT exercises in physics, so it was quite helpful.
Right. So the idea is that once you have studied the entire 11th and 12th, you'll be able to understand the physics NCERT much better as compared to doing it side by side.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
great.
what I think.
Okay. So what is the importance of previous year questions? Did you solve previous year questions during your preparation? And what is the importance of that as a resource? And from where did you solve them?
The previous year questions, I did it from the MPG 32 years or 33 years previous year question paper.
Right.
So it was like I used to do a topic and then do the previous year questions from that topic. So it kind of gave me an idea of where, like, what are the important areas in that particular topic.
Okay.
So I could focus more on that area.
So previous year questions help you identify what concepts you should focus on more as compared to the other concepts. Okay, great. So we have discussed subject-wise preparation. We've discussed your routine. We've discussed previous year questions. Now, once a student has done all of that, we'll move on to talking about mock tests. So I want you to tell me that if I'm a NEET aspirant, how many mock tests should I be giving?
Like it depends on your what you have read and like what do you need more. Is it revision or is it question practice? If it's question practice, then you have to increase your frequency of giving mock tests.
Okay.
So at the end, like around 1 to 2 months before NEET, I pretty much gave one test every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
So how many mock tests do you think you must have solved during your entire journey?
Probably around 100 to 150.
Yeah, because I also remember I solved around 150 of those, and same thing that I did, that during the last 1 month I solved one mock test every day. Okay, that's great. So now once you've attempted a mock test, there's something that I believe needs to be done. That's the analysis of the mock test, and that becomes very important. So how did you analyze your performance in a mock test? And let's say you scored less, how did you take that? Because sometimes क्या होता है, somebody is giving a test series and उसमें कम marks आ जाते हैं या rank पीछे चला जाता है. So then a lot of students, they get demotivated because of that. So how do you do that?
Like first, after every test, I used to check my score and then like see actually like where I made a mistake. If it's like what I knew before and I still made a mistake, I used to be careful not to make such type of mistakes again. And if it was a new thing or something which I did not know before, then I used to make a list of those questions and solve them in a separate book.
Oh, okay. That's something new, right?
Yeah. So, and coming to like, if the test did not go well and feeling demotivated, initially it was like that for me too. Mm-hmm. Like I was kind of demotivated, but then later I realized that if we feel demotivated, then it's kind of a waste of time, and we just have to focus our energy more on preparing for the next text and doing better in it.
So what was your lowest score in a mock test? I would really like to know, because since you scored 715 in the final exam, so what was your mock test scores like?
The lowest score I would say was around 590.
590 was your lowest score?
Yeah. Okay. The paper was very difficult then, so everyone was pretty much around the same level.
Right. Okay. Okay. So 11th and 12th, 3 subjects, it's a vast syllabus, right? And it all boils down to this time where you have to revise everything, you have to give mock tests. So mock test is fine, but how do you revise such a vast syllabus in such a short span of time?
Like in such a short span of time, we don't do everything and like everything from line to line, word to word. We just have to do the important points which we marked earlier. Like I used to highlight stuff in the textbook, so I used to do only those. Or something that I forget easily. Like I made a note for that, so I used to revise that many times.
Okay, so you're basically saying that we should highlight some things and make some notebook where we can revise at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. And now once I've done that and I go to give the exam, so how does it feel just on the day before the exam? So what should one be doing? Let's say tomorrow is my exam. What should I do today?
Like the day before the exam, everyone is pretty much freaked out, and it's like now since it's the only exam which decides whether you'll get into MBBS or not. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of too much of stress. So the day before the exam, we should focus more on preparing our minds for the actual test rather than reading anything new that day.
Okay, so it should be more of a strategy day as compared to a learning day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you have something that you have to revise, like important dates and like facts that you have to remember, then I think you should do that.
And what about when it is the actual exam day or the D-Day, you go in for the examination? Or even let's start from what should be the schedule like on the day of the exam, and what should be the exam day strategy?
On the exam day, we should first have around 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So
Mm-hmm.
that plays a great role there. And then have good food and go to the exam center on time. Uh, Keep your mind calm and even if it's difficult or even if it's easy, you're going to give your best. And that's what should matter at the end.
So now the question is, we've reached the exam center and we've sat there till 2 o'clock. So how do you attempt the paper? Is there a specific paper attempting strategy you follow with respect to the order and the sequence and with respect to the filling of the OMR?
So I used to experiment with different strategies during the mock test time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I started with physics, sometimes I started with bio, and sometimes with chemistry to find out what actually worked for me.
Okay, so you've done everything. So
Yeah.
what do you think works for someone?
It depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're more confident with on the day before the exam and things like that matter a lot. So you should try out different strategies and see what works for you rather than following someone or someone's strategy blindly.
So and what about filling the OMR? Like, should you fill it along with it, or should you fill it side by side, or at the end? How should you go about that?
It depends on an individual's preference, but then I used to do it at the end. Like once I finished attempting my first round of paper, then I used to fill the OMR and then go back to the difficult questions.
Okay, so you used to do 2 rounds of paper attempting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. One thing I used to do was that I used to mark the questions as I used to circle the questions that I was not able to do. So it's a similar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you revisit them so that you don't waste time on those questions. Okay, great. So next thing, a lot of us have some challenges that we faced during our preparation. So according to you, what were the 3 main challenges that you faced during your NEET preparation, and how did you overcome them?
The first thing was that during the revision, it wasn't very consolidated. We had a lot of syllabus, and we had to the paper was based on the entire syllabus. So the transition from the normal topic wise papers to the entire syllabus papers was kind of difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But then with frequent revisions, that got managed easily. And then I also had a problem with bubbling of OMR, so I used to make some mistakes in that also. But because of the extra time that we got due to COVID, I was able to manage that as well. Like our exams were getting postponed and everything, so there was kind of an apprehension about that.
Yeah, so that's very important because of the pandemic situation. A lot of people are distressed. So do you have any tips on how to deal with that stress, or what was your stress buster? How did you deal with any kind of stress?
Yeah, so basically our 2-year journey got extended to 2.5 years.
Right.
So it's important that you don't burn out anywhere in between and go with the same energy throughout those 2.5 years. So stress busters definitely play an important role. My stress buster was listening to music. So I'm sure everyone else also must have had their stress buster.
So now, since you are a student at AIIMS New Delhi, that is India's best medical college, you're my junior. So a lot of the people watching this video would be eager to know that how was your experience at the college, even though it was for a very short duration? And what were the good parts? What were the bad parts? How did you like interacting with seniors? Something like that.
So getting into AIIMS was a great experience in itself. And the interaction period, initially it was kind of, I don't know, it was different. But then later everyone became...
Was it scary? Was it scary initially?
Not that scary, but then kind of different.
Kind of different. Okay. With new people, new seniors, slightly intimidating, right? Okay, I get it.
Yeah. And then after that, everyone became so close, and now it's like a tightly knit community. So,
how was your freshers?
Freshers was great. It continued till 6 or 7 in the morning. So to the first party I've been to that went that long.
Okay, right, great. And we were discussing the other day that one of your hobbies is gardening. So, anything you would like to tell? It's a very unique hobby. So maybe something about pursuing your hobbies or pursuing your own interests and doing what makes you happy for the aspirants who are watching this.
Like after NEET got over, I focused more on gardening and getting new plants and then caring for them, de-weeding and like applying the proper manure and fertilizers
Okay,
and
okay.
stuff like that. So it's actually a kind of refreshing experience to be around plants and caring for them.
Yes. So do whatever suits your interests and do whatever makes you happy is the goal, right?
Yeah.
Right. So now that you're in AIIMS, this question is pointless. But if you were not in AIIMS, which other colleges would you have preferred to go to?
It would have been Mamsi or Jipmer, Pondicherry.
Mamsi or Jipmer, right? Okay. So tell me one thing, that it took you 2 years to clear the NEET examination with such a brilliant rank. So a lot of students, they mess up their class 11th and then they say that we want to start afresh from class 12th. So do you think that one can prepare for the NEET examination in, let's say, 12 months or maybe less?
Yeah, it's pretty much possible. Like if you are actually very devoted towards it and you're ready to work hard for like any number of hours, and if you're truly inspired and you're very like fixed about your goal, then yeah, it's possible.
You can definitely do it in a shorter period of time. Is there an ideal number of study hours that someone like this should put in?
It depends on what you covered before and what's still left to do.
Okay.
I think around 8 to 10 hours.
8 to 10 hours of study would be good enough. Okay, great.
Yeah.
You secured an All India rank 3 in the NEET examination. And I'm sure that's not possible without removing all your distractions. So what do you think one can do to deal with the distractions, especially the mobile phone, the screen time usage? Was there any specific thing that you did with regards to that?
My screen time wasn't that high. I was kind of focused more on the preparation itself. So if there is someone who has a lot of screen time, then it shouldn't be very drastic, like from 6-7 hours to 1 hour. You should focus more on reducing it in steps, like I'll reduce 1 hour today, 1 hour the next day, something like that.
Okay, so you should slowly try to reduce your screen time. Okay. So if I'm a aspirant, what should be my ideal screen time? Should I be having a smartphone? What do you think on that?
Like smartphones for study purposes, it's very beneficial. But then if it's more towards distractions, it should be avoided as much as possible.
Okay, great. So let's start with the rapid fire round. So first question, what is the capital of Andhra Pradesh?
Wait, that's 3 capitals.
Yes, right. Great. So what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Favorite song?
It Ain't Me.
Favorite movie?
Inception.
Okay. Celebrity crush?
Shawn Mendes.
Favorite memory at college?
The Holi celebration.
The Holi celebration. What did you like about that?
The mud pool.
The mud pit. Okay. If you could be one animal, which would it be and why?
A dog.
Because they're cute?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had one superpower, any superpower, what would it be?
Invisibility.
Invisibility. A talent that you wish you had?
Like knowing what's the right thing to do every time.
So if you got stuck on an island, or if you were sent to an island, okay, let's say Vanvas pe bhej diya, so and you were allowed to take 2 friends with you. So who would those 2 friends be? You cannot take your family.
Okay. So I have these friends from school, so they're pretty close to me. So yeah, both of them.
Okay, what are the names?
Kaveri and Ankita.
Great. Great. So you answered all the questions very brilliantly and very quickly. That's great to know that you are well aware with the GK. Also, I asked you about the capital of Andhra Pradesh. So that's great answering from you. Now, there's a tradition at Chamomile Tea with toppers that every topper nominates or tags another topper. So, which topper would you like to tag?
I would like to tag Trisha. She has secured an AIR of 14, and she'll be pretty good with the interview. And she'll be able to guide us.
Great. So we'll definitely try to bring her on Chamomile Tea with toppers. As a leaving message, do you have any summary message for the aspirants that would sum up whatever you want to convey to them?
Just focus on your goal. Try to avoid distractions as much as possible. And in every test, try to give your best. It's okay if a test doesn't go well. There's always a next test. So yeah, keep your spirits high throughout these 2 years, and that's it.
Okay, great. That's great. So thank you, Snikitha, for that wonderful interview. I'm sure our aspirants have learned a lot, and they will be able to create their own strategies using the important pointers from your strategy. So how was your experience at Chamomile Tea with toppers?
It was great, like especially my own senior at AIIMS is taking my interview. That was very wonderful. And thank you for that.
Okay, thank you so much. It also felt really great as a senior, and I felt really proud to interview you. And hopefully, you'll be doing something like that next year. We'll be having someone from the learners or the aspirants who will be telling you that they actually utilized your strategies and it worked for them. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time and giving your valuable tips to all the aspirants. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and share. And let us know any other questions that you would like to ask, any other toppers you'd like us to bring. Thank you so much for watching.